Welcome to Book of Recaps. Today we are going to discuss the movie name, The Body. The film opens with Police Commissioner Jamie receiving an urgent call. Angel Torres, the night security guard at the morgue, has fallen into a coma. Reviewing the security footage reveals a disturbing scene. Only one camera was operational, while the others were tampered with. The footage shows Torres, clearly terrified, fleeing into the jungle. His escape is abruptly cut short when he's struck by a car on the highway. Jamie's assistant, Pablo, offers a quick apology for interrupting his off-duty time, having just called him in to tackle this new case. However, Jamie brushes off the apology, his focus already on the mystery. Pablo inquires about Jamie's daughter, Eva, whom he hasn't seen in years. Meanwhile, a team is dispatched to search the jungle area. The morgue's security room code had also been altered, requiring a technical team to gain access. Interestingly, there were no signs of forced entry into the building itself. Jamie soon discovers that a woman's body, identified as Micah, is missing from the morgue. Micah was a wealthy, middle-aged businesswoman who had married a much younger man named Álex. She had suffered a heart attack immediately after returning from a business trip to Los Angeles. Álex also served as the director of Micah's pharmaceutical company. In addition to Álex, Micah's business dealings involved her two sisters, Luna and Gloria, with Gloria acting as Micah's lawyer. A flashback transports us to Álex and Micah's wedding, highlighting the significant age and size difference between them. Initially, Micah had resisted the idea of marriage but eventually agreed. She enjoyed playing mind games and teasing people, particularly Álex. Álex was visibly distressed by this, and his sister Erica often consoled him. However, we then see Álex leaving, eventually meeting Carla, a woman he deeply loved. After they share a few drinks, Álex receives a call from the police, summoning him to the forensic center. It's here that the truth begins to unravel. Álex and Carla had conspired to kill Micah. Their affair was their motive, and Álex yearned to be with Carla, but Micah's formidable power as a businesswoman prevented her from letting him go. So, they meticulously planned her murder. Alex's current presence at the morgue with the police is a strategic move to avoid suspicion. At the morgue, Álex is informed that the case isn't about body snatching or organ trafficking. The only remaining possibility is personal vendetta. Álex denies having any enemies. Micah's sister, Gloria, provides the police with some unexamined documents. The police also question Álex about his whereabouts during Micah's death, noting his phone was off. Álex claims he was out buying painkillers, prompting Jamie to inquire about his current headache, to which Álex simply nods, indicating he's fine. Left alone in the office, Álex lights a cigarette and calls Carla, instructing her to keep an eye on Angel, the security guard, who is admitted to Sacred Heart Hospital. He recalls Micah's fear of flying, a detail given her recent return from Los Angeles. Dr. Sylvia is then consulted, explaining that flights can indeed trigger heart attacks, aligning with Micah's cause of death. Jamie expresses concern about verifying the heart attack without the body. The doctor assures him her reports were accurate, but, sensing the unusual circumstances, agrees to cooperate fully. Pablo adds that if a mistakenly alive deceased person were to awaken, they would surely seek medical help rather than vanish without a trace. Jamie still leans towards a heart attack as the cause of death, but the missing body remains a significant hurdle. The doctor states that in medicine, every death is treated as a potential murder until proven otherwise, and stress or certain substances can induce heart attacks. All three officers observe Álex, noting his lack of apparent grief, which strikes them as unusual given his wife's death. Dr. Sylvia and Jamie then have a private conversation. Jamie appears somewhat somber when discussing his wife, and Sylvia offers him a comforting hug. Álex, growing impatient, heads directly to a room where he hears faint noises. He discovers Micah's personal effects in an empty evidence bag. In a second locker, he spots a liquid labeled TH16. The sight of this liquid triggers a flashback to the past. We see Álex preparing a glass of wine, into which he carefully adds drops of TH16. He ascends the mansion stairs and presents the glass to Micah. Micah invites him to dinner, but he feigns work obligations and dismisses her. Micah drinks the red wine, then makes a phone call, playfully announcing she's removing the director's poster, causing some tension before she admits she was joking. Álex then asks her to book a table at a restaurant and prepares for dinner. Finally, the film returns to the present as the lights flicker back on at the forensic center. Pablo and Jamie apprehend Álex in the morgue. They notice the forensic box is forcefully open. They realize Micah's phone is missing and immediately suspect Álex, but he denies any involvement. Jamie investigates further and discovers a bottle of TH-16, which Álex claims he merely found on the ground and intended to discard. The TH-16 bottle bears a PharmTech seal, confirming Alex's directorial connection to the company. He identifies TH-16 as a toxic substance but denies knowing how to use it. Álex then receives a phone call, which Carla answers. She informs Álex that the security guard is in a coma. When Jamie asks who is on the phone, Álex, quickly thinking, claims it's his sister, Erica. Álex suddenly receives an enigmatic envelope bearing the chilling message, "I close my eyes and you are still with me." A flashback unfolds, a melancholic song playing in the background as Álex arrives home to find an identical invitation. Micah, his wife, is prepared for their outing, but Álex has completely forgotten their plans. She confronts him, frustrated that she couldn't reach him or get him to answer his calls. He begins to offer a flurry of weak excuses. Micah expresses a touch of sadness, highlighting her advancing age compared to Alex's youth. Álex quickly reassures her, claiming she's still very attractive, and she challenges him to prove it. They become intimate. Upon waking, Álex discovers a text from Carla mirroring the eerie message, "I close my eyes and you are still with me." At that precise moment, Micah awakens, her suspicion of Álex immediately flaring. The narrative shifts back to the present, where Álex, panicked, attempts to flush the incriminating invitation down the bathroom toilet, but the flush fails. An agent approaches, prompting Álex to lock the bathroom door and hurriedly chew and swallow the paper from the faulty toilet. Meanwhile, the technicians successfully crack the security lab's password. They observe that the ventilation circuit connects directly to the control room and appears to have been recently modified, suggesting the intruder entered and exited via this route. Simultaneously, Jamie receives a call reporting the discovery of footprints in the forest. The security password turns out to be a date, 2003 to 2013, which also marks the date Álex and Carla first met. This same significant date is conspicuously marked on a wall calendar. The scene transitions to the past, showing Álex entering this very code into his company's system. He's storing numerous samples of TH-16 in the lab when Micah unexpectedly arrives. She questions his consistent use of that specific date, and he unconvincingly replies it's simply easy to remember. Micah, unconvinced by his explanation, gifts him a bike. Returning to the present, Jamie asks Álex for his shoe size, to which he replies, 42. They become trapped in the elevator as the fire alarm activates, and the entire building begins to ignite. Álex, a short distance behind them, frantically calls Carla, who is in her car. Álex urgently tells her that Micah is alive and orchestrating these events. Carla urges him to escape and join her, dismissing any concerns about money. Just then, Jamie appears from behind him, commenting that Álex must be speaking to his sister. Jamie confiscates Alex's phone but finds no call records. He was calling an unlisted number, making it impossible to trace. An agent then discovers a cigarette butt, which triggered the fire alarm. Jamie blames Álex, recognizing it as the same brand he was smoking earlier. In fact, the agent also accuses him, having smelled tobacco from the bathroom. Information about TH-16 comes to light. It's a potent toxin capable of inducing a heart attack within 8 hours, after which it completely dissolves in the body, leaving no trace. Jamie instructs his team to lock Álex away to prevent his escape. Confined, Álex gazes out a window. He sees a glass of wine, and behind it, Micah's ghostly apparition, whispering, "Tonight you will be mine." He suddenly jolts awake, realizing it was merely a dream. The same sorrowful song plays again, drawing him to a room where bodies are kept. There, he discovers a mobile phone tagged Xavier Alonso. Micah's calls were directed to this phone, but when he answers, he hears a strange, faint sound, as if a woman is crying. Checking the mobile, he finds only one contact, Micah. When he calls it, a waitress from a restaurant called Arabesco answers. Álex recalls a past celebration there, marking a contract Micah had secured before her trip to LA. He had gone to that same restaurant where he met a man named Xavier Alonso, whom Micah referred to as her psychoanalyst. Micah had asked Álex to accompany her to LA, but he had refused. The narrative shifts to the present. Álex calls Carla, urging her to find out more about Xavier. We then see Jamie sitting outside, lost in memory, recalling his wife's fatal accident. The film reveals how Sylvia performed his wife's autopsy and how Jamie subsequently lost her body. Jamie confronts Álex, demanding the truth, convinced he stole the body. Álex counters, asking why he would remain there if he were guilty. Jamie voices his doubts about Micah's death, and Álex claims he also suffered a heart attack 2 years prior. Jamie demands proof, and Álex admits he was lying, a confession Jamie records. Jamie then shows him papers prepared by Gloria. The final document mentions a private detective named Xavier Alonso. Álex takes Jamie to the morgue where he believes Xavier is, but upon checking, they find someone else. Álex vomits, distraught that there are no papers concerning him. From the washroom, he calls Carla, asking if she went to Xavier's house. She confirms she did, finding nothing initially, but later discovered photos and audio at home that proved Micah had been watching her and knew about the TH-16 in the red wine. He instructs Carla to leave his house, fearing Micah might come to kill her. A car speeds toward Carla's vehicle, and the phone call abruptly cuts off. Álex, overwhelmed with stress, pushes Jamie, who retaliates with a punch, rendering Álex unconscious. The next morning, Álex, composed, explains that he met Carla at the university where he taught chemistry. They fell in love as he provided private tuition to Carla. Carla didn't want him to get married, and that's when Micah began to suspect Álex. Álex posits that Micah might have swapped the wine, taking some other toxin that temporarily stopped her heart, allowing her to escape with Xavier's help. But Jamie remains convinced she was killed by TH-16, trusting his doctor's assessment. Police find a map of the forensic center in Alex's house, along with shoes and an unregistered pistol. They also learn the security guard has regained consciousness. The security guard recounts hearing a noise from the morgue, and upon investigation, found Micah's body in the lift. The lift suddenly shut down, and when it descended, a man appeared and began shooting, terrifying the guard. These bullets match Alex's gun, trapping him again, yet Álex vehemently denies owning a gun. He still believes Micah is alive. Now, the key question is the identity of the gunman, Álex or Xavier. Here, Jamie and Alex's differing perspectives clash. In Alex's version, Micah is alive and orchestrated everything with Xavier's assistance. Conversely, Jamie believes Micah is dead, her body hidden by Álex. Alex's sole aim is to protect Carla, but Jamie takes him to her supposed house, only to discover there's no girl named Carla, and no one has seen her today. The house is completely empty. They find a dead body in the jungle, which Álex initially suspects as Carla's, but upon opening it, he's shocked to find Micah's body. Álex vomits again, and the commissioner states that Carla Miller never existed. Jamie declares that Álex fabricated this story for money, then cowardly killed Micah and tried to flee. Jamie instructs Pablo to call the judge for Alex's sentencing. Álex then attacks Jamie, killing him and attempting to escape, but he falls. Jamie, seemingly alive, kicks him, and Alex's condition deteriorates as Jamie observes that it's normal since he'd been in the Forensic Institute for the last 8 hours. Jamie looks around, seeing no one else. The commissioner then draws a parallel between this situation and his wife Ruth's accident, and here, the true story begins to unfold. That night, there was no one else but Micah and Álex. Jamie's wife, Ruth, was alive, but they fled the scene, which ultimately led to her death. Carla was, in fact, Jamie's daughter, Eva, who has now safely left the city. Xavier must be somewhere abroad, implying he was a private investigator. When the accident occurred, Eva was very young, but she saw a number plate and a keychain, which was a landmark where Micah and Álex first met. Now, Eva is grown up and remembers the number plate and what was written on the keychain. Eva became Carla, unofficially enrolling in the university and trapping Álex in a fabricated romance. However, Eva also genuinely fell in love with Álex. After that, she wanted to be sure of his true nature, but when they became intimate, he revealed his darkest secret, the hit-and-run case. Distraught, She cried profusely and then concocted this entire plan with her father. All of this was orchestrated by Eva and Jamie. You must remember that Álex went to Eva's house and consumed alcohol into which TH16 was mixed. 8 hours have now passed, leading Jamie to leave him there to die. Álex succumbs. Jamie also recorded Alex's statement confessing to Micah's murder and admitting to a heart attack 2 years prior, which will simplify proving the cause of death, as no trace of TH16 remains after 8 hours. The photos and audio of both were kept by Eva and Jamie, and with that, the movie ends.